And away we go with this week's video. And as you would have already heard in the intro, this is the latest box I have from Jeanette over at GiGi's Gems. And she always curates the best collections, really. I really enjoy the boxes that she sends me, and she includes extra research notes and things like that. I have already gone through this one, and I have numbered and priced everything already, so that'll help things go a little faster, maybe, who knows. But we're going to go ahead and jump in, and I'll tell you some news as we go. This is item number 1 for $6, and it's just this really light pink, clear rhinestones, faux pearl, gold tone necklace. I don't know, she didn't say whether this was new or not, but it looks new to me. I don't see anywhere at all. It's a nice yellow gold tone. Here's the back. This collection is called, she named this collection, she's calling it a Fire and Ice collection. Everything is blinky, sparkly. There's rhinestones, crystals, faux pearls, things like that. So it's very sparkly and pretty, just right for the holiday season. So you might want to wear a little sparkle, or you might want to gift some sparkle. But here they are. These pink are just very light, blushy pink, and then clear rhinestones, and then the faux pearls. So the last day to complete a transaction and have it go out with your November package is a little earlier than usual because of the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm going to send out November packages Monday and Tuesday, the 24th and 25th. Okay, I had to pause a minute and answer a phone call. So packages for November will go out Monday and Tuesday, November 24th and 25th. That's the Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving. This necklace, I'm going to go back and forth a minute. This necklace is 7.5 inches drop without the extender. And then the extender is about 3 inches, which gives you another 1.5 inch of drop. But there it is, and that's item number 1 for $6. I'm going to ship out before the Thanksgiving holiday, which means Monday and Tuesday, the 24th and 25th. So the last day to complete a transaction and have it shipped in that package is Saturday, the 22nd. Starting with the Sunday, the 23rd, all transactions that are completed starting Sunday the 23rd will go in December packages. And I haven't decided yet when I'm going to ship December packages, but I will, I'll let you know in a video as soon as I have looked at the calendar and figured out when I can ship those out. This is item number 2 for $6, and it's a genuine pearl and silver tone bracelet with this pretty box clasp that's shaped like a flower, the little faux pearl right in the middle. The box clasp is in great condition. And just very simple, genuine cultured pearls. And it's not sizable because of that box clasp. There's no extender on it. The size is just over 6, about a 6 1/4, maybe verging on 6 1/2. But very simple and very, very pretty and feminine. Cultured pearl, silver tone. This is what I mean by research notes. She'll include like a little tag, or sometimes she'll just write notes directly on the packaging that she has each piece in. But love the pieces I get from Jeanette. I love bringing those to you. So this genuine pearl and silver tone, delicate, pretty feminine bracelet is number 2 for $6. You may have noticed, if you look at this kind of stuff, that I have finally hit that 600 mark, 600 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to everyone who has clicked that subscribe button. That means it's time for a giveaway. So as soon as I decide how I'm going to conduct that, I will give you details And actually, I have someone who has donated some nice pieces toward, specifically toward the giveaway for my 600 subscribers mark, and I really, really appreciate that. I have to double check whether I can name the person who has donated that, but I'm grateful for that donation, that I can pass along very nice pieces to winners of some drawings to celebrate 600 subscribers, and I'm thankful to all, as of this morning, 607 of you who have clicked that subscribe button. Really, really appreciate it. This is a Leah Sophia necklace. It's number 3 for $6. It's silver tone, and this one to me also looks new. Like the first telltale place to check for wear is going to be the places that get handled the most, which of course the clasp on a necklace is going to be the number one place that gets the most wear or the most handling. So that'll be the first place that you'll see tone loss and scratching and wear, but I don't see any of that here. There's the Leah Sophia hang tag, and there are just these beautiful all shades of blue and green. It just sort of has like a bubble look. Actually, in my notes, I'm calling this a bubble necklace because it just looks like a little string of little happy bubbles. They're green, then this sort of light rainbow colored, and then you have the teal, light blue, and then these are just little filigree sort of floral cutout design, and they just look like this little string of happy bubbles. The drop on this one is this going a little faster than usual? I feel like it is, but I've had 3 cups of coffee already, so maybe that's why I just feel like I'm going fast. This is I think another 7.5 inch drop. Yeah, just over 7.5 inches. And the extender looks like 3 inches, and it is. And this is beautiful. I love those colors. It's just gorgeous. So that's number 3 for $6. There are some pieces that will be getting tested in this video. Again, you've heard me say before, if you've been around here since I've started sourcing from GiGi's Gems, you'll know that she gives me notes. She'll tell me if it has genuine stones or 925, but I test it anyway, not because I don't trust those notes, but just because I like testing. I just like seeing it. Gives me a chance to use my supplies. So this is number 4 for $5. Number 4 is a loft necklace, and it has, again, that sort of blushy pink color in it, and these milky opalescent colored rhinestones, and these little black stones. The pink and the acrylic, or the pink and the black stones, are all acrylic. I think everything else is glass. And then it's all set in, looks like brass. There. So here's the back settings and construction on that. Very J. Crew-like in the construction. The pretty Rolo chain. There's a little short extender on this one. The drop on it is 8 inches, and the extender looks like another 2. Yeah, which gives you 1 more inch of drop. But here's the design on it. Sort of an Art Deco design. Not that this looks like an Art Deco piece of jewelry. It doesn't have that design overall. Just that each one of these little things looks kind of Art Deco to me. I'm not schooled in that. All I know is what I've sort of researched on my own. But it definitely has that kind of feel to me. I don't know, you could probably get away with wearing that to a Gatsby party. But the loft necklace here is $5, and it's number 4. Well, I'm trying to show it to you again, but it's sort of hidden there by the chain. Number 4 for $5. Number 5, this is gorgeous. This will be our first one to test. Number 5 is a just this ornate necklace with this blue, I think, glass stone here. Let me make sure on that. Yeah, that is a glass stone. It's gorgeous. This sort of milky, I don't know, sort of thermoset look to it. Sort of tiger eye kind of look to it. And then here's the design, and all of this is 925, which we'll test just so you can see it, see the test, and I get a chance to, like I said, a chance to use my supplies. And let's see, it has a mark on it. I remember I meant to look this up. It says Cameo and something else right there, as in a brand, not as in like this is a Cameo, because obviously it's not. So that would be a brand. But I'm not going to unpackage it, so I can't tell you a length on the drop. But it's probably, most things like this are about an 8 to 9 inch drop. So my guess is that's probably what this is. It has, it's a nice size. It's not large, but it's got a nice size. It's about 1 3/4 inch long. And then across the widest part, it's about 1 1/4. So let's test this little filigree design here. And then we'll test the chain. Chains are kind of harder to test when they're fine little chains like this, especially if you're committed to not unpackaging it. So let's see if I can get enough scratch so you can see that blue show up. That might be good enough. Now this was already there from another piece. Here's the chain, and here's the filigree setting. And there they are, both showing up blue. I can see the chain scratch showing up. I'm not sure if it's coming across on camera very well, but of course they're all showing up blue, as I would expect, because I can always trust Jeanette's notes. And there we are, this gorgeous, gorgeous piece is number 5. And it's $15. Jeanette has even told me I can always trust her notes, but she has said that if I ever find something to not be, like, for example, not be what she calls it, for example, if something said, 925 on it, and I test it and it actually turned out to not be sterling, she has actually said if that ever happens to let her know, because she will make it right. So you don't find a lot of suppliers that will say things like that, which I really, really appreciate. But here is this gorgeous one, number 5 for $15. Number 6 is a White House Black Market silver tone, sort of disco ball, rhinestone ball pendant, which has got a little bit of weight to it. It's just a rhinestone ball pendant. And it's about an inch from top to bottom. All of the rhinestones are there. And they're very sparkly and very pretty. This one has some light surface scratching on it. There's pretty crystals there on the extender. I like things that have detail in the back also. And here's the White House Black Market hang tag. So I'm going to have to measure this one outside of the light box because it's longer. Remember the pendant itself is about an inch. The drop on the necklace is 16 and the extender is another 2 inches. So it's silver tone with this rhinestone ball pendant, which is kind of heavy. It's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that it feels like quality. It feels nice. But there it is, and it's number 6 for $6. This would be great, especially since it's this crystal ball like that, sparkly ball. That'd be great to wear if you're going to a New Year's party to watch the ball drop. This will be a great piece to wear to a New Year's party. But there it is. Number 7. This is a Monet piece, this pretty wheat chain, this matte gold tone wheat chain, and these acrylic white beads, little gold tone spacers. And look at this gold tone wheat chain. So pretty and thick. I love the look of wheat chain because of that. Here's her note she gave me on that. And let's see, where is that mark? There it is. Right there. Has a little extender. Let's move this shepherd's hook all the way down so I can give you a length on it without the extender. And that is about 6.5. So it's about choker length. But you get another 2-inch extender, so it gives you another inch of drop. And there it is, number 7 for $8. It's a gorgeous Monet necklace. I love Monet. That's one of those that I just have my own category that I call costume classics. That includes Monet, Lisner, Weiss, Juliana. That includes all of those classic costume brands. Oh, did I give you the price on that? That one's number 7 for $8. And number 8, this is Christopher and Banks, a little just in time for Christmas, a little new on the card set of Christmas earrings. You have snowflakes, candy canes with the little green bows on them, and these little ball ornaments. New on the card, Christopher and Banks, little Christmas earring set. Originally $14.95, and we're going to do these for $5. Those are very pretty, very festive, and just in time. It's hard to believe that there's only, like 6 or 7 weeks left in 2025. It's number 8 for $5. That was pointed out yesterday when I went to church. I'm filming this on Monday. So at church, somebody said, oh, did you know there's only, I think they said 7 weeks left in 2025? And even though I know it's November, of course, you know in November the year's winding down, but I just had not thought of it in those terms until I heard that person say that. This is number 9 for $8. Number 9 is, it's unbranded. It's a silver tone crystal. And look at the sparkle and shine on this. Like, check that out. That is just, it's mesmerizing. It's so pretty. But I'm just calling it a snowflakes bracelet because these just look like little individual sparkly snowflakes. There are these 2 little rhinestones in between each one, and then here's what I'm calling snowflakes. You can say maybe they're flowers if you like. And look at these chunky high settings. Then open on the back. I love this bracelet. So this one I'm offering up for $8. That's what it looks like on. Imagine that at your Christmas party or your New Year's party or just any time. It's so, so pretty. So let me clasp this at its shortest length and give you a measurement on it. It's exactly at a 6. Maybe between a 5 3/4 and a 6 at its smallest measurement. And then you can clasp it anywhere along the length of this extender. But the absolute largest it can be is, it can go all the way up to an 8, 8 1/4. So a lot of size range there. And these little individual rhinestones or little snowflakes, about just under a 1/2 inch, or maybe right at a 1/2 inch. Let's look. Actually, they are exactly a 1/2 inch across. The little flowers are, or snowflakes as I'm calling them. But there's that one, and it's number 9 for $8. I feel like we are moving along at a faster clip. So here's number 10 for $15. Number 10 is SAL Swarovski earrings. These have sold comps for, really, I've seen them from around $30, or really from around $15 and up to the hundreds. Sold comps for this brand. This is big, big, big Swarovski crystals. So I didn't see this exact design, any sold comps for this one, but earrings in general with Swarovski crystals by this brand have that sold range. And mostly when something has a really wide range from around, for example, on these, like $15 up into the hundreds, I look at what's the average, and the average appears to be in the $30 to $50 range. So I would probably list these around $40 if they didn't sell here. So here I'm going to offer them for $15, because I generally try to go for around half of what sold comps are, or for what I would list it for. There's the, if you can see that, there's the mark right there. So these are door knocker style, meaning that they're just, hinged, so they articulate right there. And here's the gold tone on them, which is in great condition. Light surface scratching, very light. Then you have these faux pearls with sort of a matte satin finish on the front of the faux pearls. Very light scratching on the surface of those. At a distance, it's not really even evident. You have to look really close to see the surface scratching. And then these large, large Swarovski crystals that are about a 1/2 inch across, and they are pointed and very sparkly, as you can see. The earrings are about 1 3/4 inches long and about a 1/2 inch across. And those are number 10 for $15. And these will get, if they don't sell here, I'm going to list these for $40. And the basis for that, again, is just because the average sold comps are between $30 to $50. So that's what makes me choose $40 for my listing price, again, if they don't sell here. So number 10 for $15, the SAL Swarovski earrings. Number 11 is the silver tone and crystal long layering necklace for $6. And it just has beautiful crystals, or actually I think it's hard to tell with this because some of the weight may be coming from the base metal. But I think these are actually glass. The more I look at them, they are, if they are glass, they're nice quality because they are more sparkly than your typical glass, in my opinion. I mean, look in the background there, you can see all the colors showing up on those. But this is it. It's just very simple. Just linked bezel set crystals that are pointed on the back and flat on the front, or the other way around, pointed on the front, flat on the back, whichever way you want to call it. And it's just a long layering piece. Can't measure it inside the light box because it is so long. It can be doubled, I don't know, maybe even tripled. It's a 29-inch drop. So there's not a closure on it, it just goes over the head. But there's that piece, just beautiful and sparkly and ready for all your festive occasions. That's number 11 for $6. And moving right on to number 12. Let me get number 11 out of the way first. Number 12 is, it's unbranded. It's a rose gold tone faux pearl and rhinestone necklace with this pretty botanical design to it. This looks, I don't know, this has kind of a bridal feel to me. But it doesn't have to be bridal. There's a very small amount of wear with this rose gold tone or copper tone maybe. And it's, like I said, it's very, very light. Or did I say yet? I can't go telling you like I said when I didn't say. But, yeah, there we are right there. A little bit of tone loss. Not much. And then you've got this fold over clasp, so there's no extender on it. And it's in great condition. The clasp snaps down nice and snug. But here's the main, like, front part, pendant part of the necklace. Just very delicate and feminine with your faux pearls and your rhinestones or crystals. They're really sparkly. And then going up the, each side, so there are these little vines that sort of trail outward with the leaves and everything. And then going up, it looks like the vine just continues like that up each side. So it's very pretty and delicate and feminine. The drop on it is about 8 1/4. And really I said it's not adjustable, but it looks like it might be because you have 2 clasps right here. So you could take one of these clasps out and remove that and maybe shorten it by about an inch. Let's see. Yeah, about an inch, which means you could shorten it by about a 1/2 inch in drop. But there it is, pretty, delicate, and dainty, and that's number 12 for $5. Unbranded and beautiful. Number 13, this is pretty. This is faux amber. It's Talbot's new on the card. Little acorn. This is not genuine amber. And how I was able to tell that is with the black light test. Not sure if it'll happen in the, well, nothing's going to happen because it just doesn't fluoresce. That's how you know that it's faux. That's with the light on. Let's turn that light off and see. It just doesn't fluoresce the way I would expect it to if it were genuine amber. Jeanette, correct me on that if you know differently. It just doesn't have that look to me. It does have little inclusions in there that kind of light up, but I think that is faux. but it's still beautiful. It's gold tone with these little peridot green colored rhinestones, little gold tone cap with plenty of detail and texture on it. The whole thing is about, it's about 1.5 inches long and about 1 inch wide. It originally was $50. It was marked down to $39.99. And we're just going to do that one for $10. Brand new on the card. Talbot's Acorn Brooch. And I'm not going to open the brooch, but I'll pop it off the card like that just so you can see the back. And you can see that the pin is nice and straight. There's the branding. And that's just adorable. There we go. So it'll still be autumn for a while. It'll actually feel like autumn for a long time where I live. I live in central Alabama, and really our wintry weather doesn't really start until maybe mid-January. It's number 13 for $10. And the great thing about that is, like, right after Christmas is the best time to go shopping around here for your winter clothes, because you're not really going to need winter clothes until, you know, mid-January. And by then around here, those are all on clearance. So that's great. So this is probably my favorite piece in this entire collection. Not only because it is so outstandingly beautiful, but this is number 14, and it is $60, and that is because this is a Juliana bracelet that is absolutely stunning, and bracelets of this type have sold comps anywhere from around 90 to about 150, some even higher. There's actually a necklace that matches this, and I saw a sold comp on that set with this design of bracelet and then matching necklace for like $320 or something like that. It was crazy. But this is like smoky topaz, sort of like faintly green. And here's what each link looks like. And then there's the construction, book chain style. And then this Juliana fold over clasp, the texturing on the clasp, the safety chain. And the safety chain itself also has a spring ring on it. It feels substantial. It just has a nice weight to it. The size on it, and the size is the size. There's not an extender. It's about a 7. Let's unclasp it so you can see how it would look on. There it is. Look at that. It's just stunning. It is so gorgeous. Actually, I do want to test this one because when I was looking comps up on it, I thought this was all rhinestone. But when I was looking up comps, there was a listing of this exact bracelet that called it smoky topaz. So I want to double check that if you'll give me just a minute to get the gem eye turned on. Okay. So testing to see if this holds true to some of the comps that I saw that had this listed as smoky topaz, because I thought it was just glass rhinestone. So yeah, it's not even moving into the glass area, so someone is incorrect in their listing. This is not smoky topaz. This is all rhinestone. Okay, we're going to keep the Gemini turned on, though, because there is a piece coming up that will need to be tested. Pretty exciting piece. But this one's exciting, too, even though it's not a precious or semi-precious stone, just because it's Juliana. This is only the second piece of Juliana I've ever gotten. The first one is one of my upcycles, and I'll try to find a picture of that and put it here. That actually sold on eBay, and I was really excited to do that upcycle on that one. But here it is, this Juliana gorgeous, gorgeous bracelet. It's number 14, and it is $60, which is half of what I'm going to list it for if it doesn't sell here. And there we are. Okay, number 15. I don't have this one in a bag yet. It's in this tissue that Jeanette had it wrapped in. And it's a stunner. This is J. Crew. And like that disco ball necklace, the crystal ball necklace earlier, this one also to me is just screaming, you know, wear me to your New Year's party. This is all glass rhinestones and kind of, they're clear and sort of this very light champagne color. So this reminds me of champagne bubbles. Like I said, the other one reminds me of the ball drop. This reminds me of champagne bubbles. And that's why this one just needs to be worn to somebody's New Year's celebration. It's just so beautiful. The ones on the bottom here are the clear colored stones, and I don't know if it's going to come across well on camera or not, but these larger ones in the center are that sort of champagne color, and then alternating around those are clear ones and other champagne ones. And then most of these down here are all champagne colored. So it's just really, really pretty. And you've got this sort of matte brass, beautiful book chain. The Senorita clasp that J. Crew is known for. I think especially older J. Crew. And then there's your hang tag. So let's give some measurements on this one. Okay, without the extender, the drop is 7 inches. And then the longest it can go, the very end of the extender, is 8 inches. And then when you're wearing it, the longest it will hang down, or well, you got your 7-inch or 8-inch drop, but then from your drop, it's going to come down another 2 inches for this longest part of the front of this big cascade on this bib style statement necklace. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's number 15 for $17. And that one's going to get a bag. I just wanted to keep it in this tissue so that it would be protected. Okay, number 16 is some more new on the card earrings, which are just so cute. These are so sweet. Little bows that come down with a faux pearl hanging in between. They're new on the card, unbranded. Very sparkly little rhinestones, sweet little faux pearls in between the bows, and then gold tone, all set in gold tone. And these are $4, and they're number 16. The length on these is about 3/4 of an inch, and they are about 1/2 inch wide. Number 16 for $4. Number 17, the nice Christmas piece. This is AJC, which is American Jewelry Company. It's a lamplighter Christmas brooch. which is very, very pretty. Sold comps on this were around $12 to $15. It's about 3 inches tall and at its widest about 1.5 inches wide. The pin is, there you go, nice and straight and in perfect working condition. And you have the man with all of these details, and some of the details are just because some are glossy and some are matte. There's a little bit of wearing away of the matte finish right there on his shoulder, which could be wear, or actually it could just be there to make his shoulder appear more prominent. So it could be there on purpose. Not really sure. But you have the garland wrapping around the lamp post. Then he's lighting the flame in the lamp, standing on a little cobblestone pathway, just in time for Christmas. And that's number 17 for $6. Love that little lamplighter brooch. Oh, the mark on it, where is that? Oh, there it is. AJC is right there. And that just stands for American Jewelry Company. And number 18 is $8. It's just a vintage brooch. I will give it a little more of a wipe down, but I don't want to damage the glue that's holding a lot of these stones in place. So this is not going to go into the ultrasonic, but I will give it a little bit of a wipe down. The stones are not as sparkly. They're a little bit cloudy, but that's to be expected with something that is as old as this probably is. I would put this at probably the 1950s or 60s. I could be off on that. If you are more confident in dating vintage brooches, I would love to hear your input, but I would think this is probably 50s or 60s. Sort of amber topaz colored rhinestones, and then these AB champagne colored ones in the middle, all set in this very, very light gold tone. Or I don't know, maybe it's silver tone. The back looks more silver tone, but it's unbranded. It's about 2 inches across, and there it is. It's very gorgeous. Number 18 for $8. Number 19 is again something else that's sort of rolled up in this little mesh bag. This is another one of my favorites. This is a costume classic also from that same category because it is a Weiss. It's number 19 for $15. And it's just one of those classic styles, classic designs. I sort of lost my, I got mesmerized for a minute. So very pretty rhinestones from a classic costume brand. Has a shepherd's hook closure with a little stone at the end of the shepherd's hook. So you can close it pretty much anywhere you want. You can make this as short or as long as you like. So I'll just give you a maximum length on it. The maximum length on the drop is 8 inches. And here's the design. And then as you're wearing it, that's about how it would lay as you're wearing it. Super, super pretty. Again, that's just classic Weiss, number 19 for $15. And I'll keep it in this little bag that Jeanette has put that in. And there we are, number 19 for $15. And number 20 is that other piece. Remember I told you I knew that another piece was coming up that would need testing, or doesn't really need it because she gives notes, but I like to show the testing. But the note she included said, it's marked PAJ, it glows like rubies. So these stones right here is what she's talking about, that glow like rubies. And I'm going to test those just so you can see them. And I'm also going to test, it looks like there's a little stone right in the center of these spaces in between the rubies. One stone, there's two places. One looks like it's cut to be reflective, but one looks like it actually has a stone in it. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to test it and see. And then we're going to test the 925 here. We'll test the red stones here. And one of the ways you can test for rubies is by UV, because of the chromium content that's in rubies. That's what actually fluoresces. So we're going to see if it shows up with the light on. A little bit. So let's turn the light off in the light box. You can see how those really light up, and even it doesn't even really look as glowing bright on camera as it does in person. But these glow very brightly in the UV light, and that is a designator as far as I know. I don't know everything about it, but in my experience and research, if it glows really, really bright like that, that can be an indicator that they are lab-grown sapphire or rubies, but I'm not certain on that. So let's first test the 925. These look new, so I'm just going to do a very light scratch to, so I don't want to damage the 925. So there's our scratch. Let's check that content. And let's see, I don't think I made my scratch big enough. Let's give it another try. Actually, they're marked PAJ, but she doesn't say on her note that there's any 925, and there's no 925 showing up. So that's odd, though, they would put rubies in a base metal. So let's check. They do glow like rubies. She's right on that. She's not claiming any 925, and there's no 925 that showed up in the 18K testing, but let's check and see what these red stones do. Okay, well, yes, they are rubies, but the gem-eye is not going to indicate whether they're lab-grown, like synthetic rubies, or if they are natural rubies. So let's clear out the gem-eye and give it one more. Well, I slipped off of it. We'll try it one more time. Let's clear out this known diamond here. Okay, it looks like it needs recalibrating, so I'm going to do that. And I'll bring you along for the ride. It's been a while, and a few new people have joined since the last time I've shown the calibration on the gem-eye, so I'll include it instead of editing out. I have to wait until these lights finish going across. And if two come on right here, a blue and a green, then it'll be ready to calibrate. If just the green one comes on, I need to turn it off and back on and start that process again. So there we are, we have the blue and green, so it's ready to calibrate. I do that by first touching the probe to this glass disc until the needle comes down to the glass line. And then once it comes down to the glass line, then I'll touch it to that simulant disc right there on the front of the unit. So there we are, and then the two lights here and here indicate that it's ready to test for simulant, or calibrate to simulant. And then all the lights have gone off and it beeped, so that means it's ready. So let's try this again with the rubies, suspected rubies. Yeah, so there we are, getting a good clear ruby reading on that after I recalibrated. So they are rubies. So let me check this little chip that's in here. Since we now know that this is base metal, it's highly unlikely, I would think, that there's any diamonds in here, because who's going to put diamonds in base metal? Well, apparently these people did. Oh my goodness, these do have diamonds. Can you believe that? So if it goes all the way over and goes beep beep, and then these two blue lines come on, that's positive for diamond. So is this just a smaller chip? Okay, no, that's metal. So you have 1, 2, 3 rubies, and this is just what's called diamond cut, which means the metal is cut in such a way to be very reflective. There's not an actual chip right there, but right here there's actually a diamond chip. I'll show you that again, and it's going to be very hard to do because it's so small, like hard to do without touching the, there it is. You get the double beep, the two blue lights came on, positive for diamond. The other earring right here, again, positive for ruby. And the little chip, of course, is going to say the same thing. I wouldn't expect it to say something different. Well, right now it's saying you're touching metal, so stop. And there that one is. Okay, so odd that there would be not only rubies but also diamonds set in base metal. So I'm going to get out my sterling acid and see if I can get a better test there. So I will be right back. So here's how I use my, see, this is not 18K acid. This is actually silver testing acid. I don't really expect a whole lot different because, I mean, this acid is specific for testing silver, but the scratch itself is a little coppery, a little rosy looking. It's not very silvery. So I don't know, just because there are diamonds and rubies set in here, it's just odd that diamonds and rubies would be set in base metal. So the reason I don't use the silver acid very often is because, to me, it's just harder to read. So you let it sit, and it's supposed to turn, I think, a reddish or orangey color when you wipe it off with your Q-tip. Okay, which I don't get right here. I get like black. So that is negative for silver, as I really expected, just because of the color of the scratch. But these are interesting, of course, because confirmed diamonds and rubies. So these diamonds and rubies, I even wrote test to remind myself. Number 20, test. I wanted to test for the precious metal content there. These are going to be, I'm going to do these for just $15. That is $15 for some diamond and ruby earrings. They are not precious metal, keep that in mind, but we did confirm it right here that these are rubies with little diamond chips. But there's no sterling content, no gold content. And actually, I didn't test for gold. Maybe I should do that too. That's how, oh, here comes Earlene for anybody that needs warning. This is how they would look on. Very beautiful. So just for grins, I'm going to do another little scratch here and do a little bit of gold, just because gold testing, just because that's just very strange to me. I'm not going to scratch these all to heck and back. Let's see. It's just strange to me that rubies and diamonds set in base metal. So we got to make extra sure. I'm just going to do 2 right there. So I've already tested the 18K and it just dissolved it. So I have 10 and 14K right here. But the scratches aren't particularly gold looking. They're more like coppery looking. So I'm only halfway expecting to get something positive from these. I'm just dumbfounded that the diamonds and rubies are set in base metal. Okay, you know what? That 10 carat is sitting there. The 14 carat is dissolving. So we can go ahead and say no to that one. But that 10 carat is continuing to sit there. So maybe it's 10 carat? Could it be? I would tend to think that since this is diamonds and rubies, that 10 carat reading would be accurate, but that scratch is just sort of coppery looking to me. So that's a tough call. So I'm going to keep the price the same. The 10 carat test sat there, didn't dissolve, but the scratch did look a little coppery. But I'm still going to keep these at $15. So somebody may be getting an amazing deal on possibly some 10 carat diamond and ruby earrings. Gorgeous. They are beautiful. And they're about 3/4 of an inch across. Marked PAJBB, and the PAJBB is right here. I don't know if I'm going to get it to focus for you because it's going to try to focus on the top right here instead of on the bottom. But that's where the mark is. Right there. PAJBB. And then China is what it says, right? It says PAJBB China. So these are interesting, and whoever buys these, please contact me back if you go have them appraised or something and you find out that you got any kind of precious metal with rubies and diamonds, because you will be getting an incredible deal if that's the case. So number 20 for $15, and moving right along to number 21. 21 is a set here, a demi parure. Demi meaning just 2 pieces of a matching set. That's necklace and earrings. A parure is 3 pieces of a matching set. These are simply Vera Wang. This is what the earrings look like. 3 baguette-shaped rhinestones, little textured bead and silver tone chain. That's the earrings. And I'll bring Earlene out in just a minute to show you how those would look on. And then there's the matching necklace. And the matching necklace is a Y drop. Let me get this straightened out outside of the light box and then bring it in. Okay, so it's a Y drop that looks like this with a long drop on it. Again, with these bars, and each little bar has 3 baguette rhinestones and then little individual baguette rhinestones, like alternating with these textured oval shaped beads. And then the same sort of alternating pattern is right here on the chain that goes up on each side. The bars with the 3 baguettes, then little individual baguettes, and the textured silver tone oval beads. And then here's the chain, silver tone chain, and then your Simply Vera Wang tag is right here. That's her design. So the drop, I'll give you all the measurements. And then we'll talk about the earrings. I gotta get this earring off the necklace. There we go. So the drop on the necklace. So just the necklace part of it, not including the Y drop, is 8 3/4 of an inch. And then the Y drop is pretty long. It comes down another 5 1/2 inches. And then the extender is 3 inches, so you can add 1.5 inches to this drop, and then ultimately 1.5 inches lower it would hang here as well. So there's the necklace. Let's lay that over here to the side. And then here are the earrings, and the earrings are the same design that you see here on the necklace. It's the bar with the 3 baguettes, the textured oval bead, and some chain. And the length from the top of the hook to the bottom of the chain is almost 3 inches. The little baguette itself is about 1 inch. But there they are, and here comes Erlene to model the earring for you. This is a nice set too for a New Year's party, I think. So there's the earring, a little textured bead, 3 baguettes on the bar, and then the chain. And then the necklace, of course, has the same design. And this set is number 21 for $8, and that's $8 for the set, the earrings and necklace, matching set, all together $8. So we're in the home stretch, I think, of this week's sale. This week's sale almost didn't happen. I was getting ready to film a little short saying, oh, I have so much going on that I'm not going to be able to get this week's video filmed. I was just getting ready to film that when I got a text saying that my appointment for today actually had to be postponed for a few days. So I ended up with enough time to film a video after all. So this is a Stella and Dot piece, number 22 for $10. And this is a substantial piece. It is brass with these smoky colored rhinestones, and it just has such a nice feel to it. Here's the back construction on this. This just feels good. When this side is next to your skin, it just feels good. This has some nice weight to it. And just look how it's made. I love this chain and the design here where you have sort of these, they're little prong set rhinestones, but they're set in a channel type of style, like down between these two sides. I don't know what type of chain this is called, but it just feels so nice. This is a little bit adjustable, I think. Yeah, you can open the box clasp and take out this link to remove about an inch worth of length off of it. But if you don't remove that inch worth of length, your drop is 8 inches. Actually, I think you can take off, can you take off 2? Yeah, you can actually take off 2 of these. There's your branding right there. And here's how it works. You can come over here and take off however, you can take off those 2. So that's going to remove over an inch worth of length. And there you are. Let's see what you get right there. Your drop in that case is about 6.5 inches, so that makes it a choker if you take off both of these. But then you can just take off one of them. And now the drop is 7 1/4. And then we've already measured it with all of the links in there. But we'll do it again just so they'll all be in a row right here. So with both of those links in there, the longest it'll go is 8 inches. And of course it is a drop measurement. But here it is, these smoky grayish colored rhinestones with this gorgeous, wonderful chain. Love this chain. It looks like it's all brass, and then this is Stella and Dot. This is different from any other Stella and Dot piece I've ever seen. Really, really like this one. This, to me, has the feel of one of those Costume Classic brands. Like, I don't know, I would attribute this to Monet or Trifari. If somebody just showed this to me and said, guess what brand this is, that one of those would probably be my guess. It's number 22 for $10. 23, you have this pretty snake chain. This is unbranded. Beautiful silver tone. And it's just snake chain with these little rhinestone drops and silver tone beads in between. The measurement on it is 7.5 inch drop, 3 inch extender. A little bit of light surface scratching. The silver tone is in great condition. Love a nice snake chain. I like how it drapes and flows. And then these gorgeous sparkly rhinestones. They're graduated. The smaller ones are on each end, and the largest one is right there in the middle. So pretty. That one also reminds me of Bubbles. That's number 23 for $4. Anything you're interested in here, I guess it's kind of late to be talking about that. I'm toward the end of the video now, but just contact me, skeeterjonesthings at gmail, and we will work it out there. Number 24 for $10. These are 925 double ball stud earrings. So again, you're going to a New Year's party where you're going to watch the ball drop. Here you go. So these are, like, this is the front and this is the back. So you can wear them this way or this way. And we'll put them on Earlene. Here she comes for anybody who needs warning. So these are neat, where they have a decorative front and back. So there's what it looks like on with the smaller one in front. Now, of course, if you're going to wear the larger one in front, you have to put the earring on, from the back this way. And there's what it looks like if you wear it that way. Very sparkly, very, very pretty. And of course, just because I like to see the test, I'm going to test this part here and the post right there. So the top scratch is the back. The bottom scratch is going to be the post. Those are very nice scratches. And there they are. Bright blue, positive for sterling, as we would expect, in keeping with the notes Jeanette sent. So these are about, is that a ½ inch? No, just under a ½ inch across. But so sparkly. So these are number 24 for $10. 925 double ball stud earrings. $25. Oh, this is pretty. I remember looking at this one. This reminds me of hydrangeas. Little gold tone flower cluster. This is unbranded, but I believe vintage. It's, my ring keeps spinning around. It's a box clasp, where this flower cluster is actually the clasp, and it's a pretty wide clasp. And let's see, this is how it would look on. See if I can put it together by myself while I'm talking. There. Pretty easy to put on. But you have multiple little gold tone chains and then faux pearls. Very pretty, very feminine. And we'll look at the chains here. I'll go through those. Just regular curb link. You have these bar links. Sort of an oval Rolo right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 strands. 3 of those are faux pearls. And then, actually, there are 7 rings, but some of them have 2 chains coming out of them. So 2, 4, actually they all do. 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So all of these have 2 strands coming out. The one in the middle just has the 1 strand of faux pearl. And then you have this flower cluster box clasp. A little bit of texturing on the back. I believe this is vintage. And again, if anyone knows better, please correct me. But I would guess this at maybe 1950s or 60s. And it's so beautiful. It's number 25 for $8. Oh, I didn't give you a size on it. I would call that about a 7 3/4. Yeah, to an 8. So 25 for $8. Gorgeous, gorgeous bracelet. Now, when I show you these, I have 30 items, and that's because, you know, when I am cataloging my pieces, 30 pieces will fit on the front of a sheet of paper. So that's why I stop it at 30. There are more pieces in this fire and ice lot that Jeanette's put together, but I'm going to show the rest of them in a separate video, just so I can catalog them on a separate piece of paper. This is a 925. There's where it's marked right there, and then plus Jeanette gave a note saying so right here. But this is a pretty little ball drop necklace. It would look great with those earrings, the double ball studs. You have a little infinity sign with the little ball hanging down with the rhinestones on it. And there's not an well, there is an extender actually. It's clipped into the extender right now. The drop is 8.5 inches, and then the Y drop from that is another 3 inches. Let's see, the extender is 2 inches right there. So the length without the extender, I measured it a minute ago with the extender. The length without the extender is 7.5. And then, of course, with a 2-inch extender, that gives you another 1 inch of drop, which puts it at 8.5. And then again, a 3-inch Y drop. And then at the end of the drop is this little ball with the crystals in it. And then the top of the ball right there is also marked 925. So let's test all of that. Here's the infinity. Here's the top of the bail on the ball pendant. I'm doing very light pressure on these scratches just because I don't want to damage anything. Okay, and then here's the clasp. And the chain. The chain's going to be next to impossible to get a good scratch on because it's so delicate. Okay, so we have infinity pendant, our infinity little piece station, and then the bail on top of the pendant, the clasp, and the chain. I saw markings on all of those elements. Of course, I didn't see a direct marking right on the chain because there's not really a place to put it, but everything else. And there it is, all lighting up. This looks like maybe just flakes, but that looks that way because of the inconsistent scratch. I think you can be confident that the chain is sterling. So there they are. Everything is lighting up again as we would expect, but completely confident that if a mistake gets made, Jeanette has said that she always wants to make it right. She encourages me to let her know. Which is great because a lot of people you do business with don't really make that kind of offer. So appreciate that. So this is number 26, the sterling little crystal ball pendant Y drop necklace with the infinity sign. $10. This would get listed for $20 or $25 if it doesn't sell here. And let me show the little earrings if I can find those. Here they are. So you can tell they weren't made to go together because the little ball drop is just a little different with the way the crystals are put in there. But even though they weren't made to go together, I think they would make a great pair to wear together. So there those are. That was, what number was that? Number 26. So this is 27. Had to make sure I was picking up the right one. Okay. Vintage Parco rhinestones. So Parco is one of those costume classics, but it's not as widely known. I run across it from time to time, but it's not as well known, I don't think, as like Weiss or Lisner or Monet or Trifari. But it's vintage rhinestones, very similar to that Weiss I showed you earlier. This is a 6 1/4 inch drop, so maybe collarbone length, maybe choker length. All the beautiful rhinestones are there. And there's a pretty design. This just looks like a bow to me, the way those are laid out right there in the front. Very pretty. Again, this carries sort of an Art Deco kind of feel to me. Just the design and layout of that front central pendant. Very, very pretty. Here is the mark right there. And fully functional box clasp, or fold over clasp, I mean. And that's even pretty right there in the back. Number 27 for $6. I've been crafting, so later this week I'm going to put up a sale of some pieces that I've crafted. And I forgot, usually on Saturday afternoon when I'm sitting on the sofa next to hubby and he's watching football, I'm tuning in and out of football because I'm sitting there crafting jewelry at the same time. But I didn't film any of that, and so I'll have some pieces for you this week, but I don't have any craft with me for those pieces. I might, if I have the time, I might try to film some craft with me this week, but this is a really, really busy week, so I may not get to do that. But regardless, I will sell some pieces that I crafted on Saturday. So this is just a pair of earrings. They're brass with these pink rhinestones. And just they're very pretty. They feel like quality. They do have some weight, so they're not super heavy, but they've got some weight. So if you don't like feeling weight on your ears, these would not be the ones for you. These are not lightweight by any means. Again, not super heavy, but I wouldn't call them lightweight at all. The design kind of reminds me of a feather or a long leaf, maybe. And then let's get Erlene. I'll show you how they look when you're wearing. And there it is. They're kind of long, but very, very pretty, very sparkly with these pink rhinestones and then these lighter sort of opally colored AB coated ones. And I like the veining and the detail right there. And then there's the back, the texture on it. The measurement on these is 3 inches top to bottom, and they are about 3/4 of an inch at the widest width right there. And we're just going to do these for $8, and they are beautiful. They are gorgeous. Should put them in separate bags, I think, just to keep them from scratching each other, getting knocked about. So I'm keeping them that way also. And there we are, 28 for $8 on those gorgeous pink rhinestone earrings. Number 29. This one is unbranded, but it really should be branded because this is one of those where I say nobody gets credit, but somebody should get credit for this because it's a stunner. Check this out. Oh, look, it makes a heart. That wasn't on purpose, but I will position it that way on purpose. There we go. So I say like a milky, very faintly blue, maybe. That blue cast actually could be just coming from the light. So you have some very light scratching, if you can see that. That's about the extent of the scratching. If you can see that one there, any other scratching you see on it, is about to that same degree. But all the rhinestones are there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful statement necklace. Sort of bronzy on the base metal. Turn that over so you can see how that's all put together. It's just different panels, and they're connected by these jump rings. It has a little weight. It's not super heavy at all. To me, it's not as heavy as you would think by looking at it. It looks like it would be much heavier than it is. But wait, gotta do the heart. There we go. So it's super, super pretty and very dimensional. You can see how this setting sits up higher than this one. They're all very dimensional and just very lavish. If you've been around here for a while, you've heard me use the term lushy and plushy. I would put this in that category. This is lushy plushy. So there we are. The drop on it, let's put it at its smallest. So the smallest measurement is a drop of 7 inches. And it looks like maybe a 3 or 4 inch extender. 3-inch extender. So there it is in all its glory. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And that one is number 29 for $10. So, so pretty. Remember to reach out, skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com, if you're interested in anything. And newcomers, when you're claiming something, don't wait till the end of the video, because a lot of people are claiming things during the video. So if you wait till you watch the whole video and then email me a list, odds are you're going to miss out on some things. So, and I do come first serve in the order the emails come in. So a lot of people will just pause the video or let the video continue running and then just go over to another tab where they have their email open, and then they'll send me an email with just a subject line and no body to the email. And those emails actually work great for helping me keep track of things and process them quickly so I can update the pending and sold list. And also it helps you to be able to claim things a little faster. If you just send me an email, skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com, and put in just the subject line, the number of the item and the price of the item. And then that way you can get right back to the video and just claim things as you go, if you'd like to do it that way. A lot of people do it. It's maybe helps them get the things they want, or a lot more of the things they want, have a better chance at getting to it quicker. And then it definitely helps me be able to keep up with my pending and sold list a lot faster. So here's a costume ring, which you may have seen while I was gabbing just now. The size on it is about a 6. Yeah, I'd call that about a 6. Let's see. That's my labradorite ring. Not going to sell that. That was a gift from my sister. Yeah, because this finger is just a little bit more than a 6. So it's a faux pearl, a costume ring. I think this is not silver tone. I could be wrong on that, but I think this is steel. If it is, it won't ever tarnish. It'll stay nice and shiny like that. But the little bezel set, rhinestones. That has a very, to me, sort of very retro sort of look to it. And that's it. Just about a size 6 faux pearl. Has a little bit of weight. Just a costume ring. And it's number 30 for $5. And keep in mind, I will be showing another video this week. And it's going to be items that I've crafted And I think I may also put in that video the rest of the items, because there's a few more from this lot that I'm not including in this video. So I'll put those in another video along with some items that I've crafted. And so that's it for the items this week in this week's Things video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you so, so much for joining me. I appreciate all the time that anyone spends watching the content I bring. If you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up, share it out with a friend who you think might also enjoy it, leave me a comment, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!